particular situation of action. So that's your social action bit. The next one is ideal types. Now, ideal types, let's look at the questions we have for ideal types. Now, ideal types, once again, I'll just quickly share with you a very important value addition, and I sincerely suggest that please don't miss out on this particular suggestion. Now, ideal type is a very, very important contribution to contemporary sociology. If you look at ideal type as a tool, and it's a conceptual tool, and Weber genuinely believed that the job of sociologists is to come up with conceptual tools, and ideal type in that sense is an important intervention. And it is, of course, Weber wants historians and sociologists to make use of ideal types, and it is in this regard that he ends up sort of formulating a great deal, writes a lot about ideal types. But importantly, and I think this is where, so if you think about ideal, just the word, right? Ideal. Now, ideal is a conception or a standard of something in its highest perfection. And basically, ideal is always a mental image. It's a conception. It's not really a material object. So whenever you use the word ideal, or you refer to something as ideal, it is not to be found. It is simply something that you are mentally referring to, right? So the term type, of course, means a kind, class, or group as distinguished by a particular character. Now, the value addition. Max Weber first developed the concept of the ideal type in an essay that he wrote, and the essay was titled Objectivity in the Social Sciences and Social Policy. That's the essay in which Weber writes about ideal type for the first time. This essay was published in the year 1905. So this is a fantastic pointer for your introduction, that Weber uses it, talks about it for the first time in this essay, Objectivity in Social Sciences, Objectivity in the Social Sciences and Social Policy. So that's where he talks about it, and he says ideal type is formed by one-sided accentuation. So it's one-sided accentuation, right? One-sided accentuation. One-sided accentuation of one or more points of view. In its conceptual purity, it is not this mental construct. He's very clear. Ideal type is a mental construct. It cannot be found empirically anywhere in its conceptual purity. Because it's an ideal type, it is not to be found. The ideal type of democracy, the ideal type of bureaucracy, the ideal type of this, these are all mental constructs, right? So in their conceptual purity, they are not to be found anywhere. They are simply referred to. So they are not to be found anywhere. So this mental construct cannot be found empirically anywhere in reality. This is the reason why Weber used the word ideal. Not to be found anywhere. In its material reality, not to be found. Now, ideal type is a mental construct. We know this. It's a model for the scrutiny and systematic characterization. So basically you compare, you have an ideal type in mind, and it's a methodological tool to understand and analyze social reality. And the idea is we simply are trying to divergences and similarities. So divergences and similarities. So basically, Weber clearly points out that the function of ideal type is the comparison with empirical reality in order to establish divergences or similarities. Now, they do not correspond to reality. So again, and there are various scholars. For example, there is Lachmann, Lachmann. Lachmann uses the phrase measuring rod. Ideal type says measuring rods, right? So you can use the name if you want to. Then there is Stephen Karlberg, Kalberg. So Stephen, and Lachmann is Lm Lachmann. Stephen Karlberg points out that ideal types are to be understood as yardsticks. Right? They are to be looked at as. Then there are characteristics, functions. These are things that you are already aware of. I suppose the important bit was in relation to when did Weber write about ideal types for the first time, and also why did he use the word ideal as he referred to it.